Welcome back with Wednesday with Whitt. I'm Whitney Self, the broker with Self Property Advisors. Today I'm going to go back into my journey on buying homes. So I've actually purchased 4 homes since me and my husband got married. When we purchased, we bought in 2013, which the market had crashed. So we actually purchased our first home for $56,000. Today, that sounds so crazy, right? You cannot buy anything decent for $56,000. But what I learned through that journey is that a house is an investment and it is always a plus. So when we sold that property, we sold it for $99,000 2 years later. Okay. So we gained instant equity every single time. And then once we moved to Henry County, we were in Covington, we moved to Henry County, we purchased another home. And that was right at the time when we were getting ready to welcome our first child into the home. Now, the home, I absolutely loved the home. It was a ranch style home. It was just a little small, great starter family home. The things I didn't like about it with having kids was it was on a main road and also there was a pond behind it. Now, my husband loves that house till this day. He still wishes we had it. But for me, it was super important as a mom to not have a house that was sitting right on the road. So for future, we bought that house, we sold. Again, we instantly made about $50,000 or $60,000 in equity in that property. And then we moved to land. So I told him, I said, I want to be on land. I want our kids to be able to grow up, run around, and not have to worry if they're going to get into the street. So we moved onto a property on 5 acres. It was still in McDonough, but it was on the south side where traffic was a little hectic, I would say. And so our journey to work every day, there was one traffic light that we literally would sit at for 6 to 7 minutes just to try to get through every single day. And it was on 155. If you know anything about that traffic, you know it is hectic and crazy. And so I would encourage you, pay attention to the location when you are purchasing, especially knowing where your commute is and where you're going to. You want to make sure that it makes sense and it's comfortable. So again, that goes into the location playing a big part into your property and where you're at. And so ultimately for us, we did stay there for 2 years because if you didn't know, you need to stay in a property for 2 years in order not to pay capital gains tax on it. So every time that we purchased, we knew that we at least hit that 2-year mark before we moved forward to our next one. And so fast forward, we now live in what I call our forever home. You know, there's no guarantees, but it was ideal to me, right? We're on 7 acres and we love the area that we're in. We're off of 81. So we're close to Covington. We're close to McDonough. We're close to Jackson. There's just so much around us that we have the ability to get to, as well as still feeling like we're out in the country a little bit. And so absolutely love it. When we walked in the home, I was like, I love this home. And my husband asked me the question because we had moved 4 times in the midst of 8 years of our marriage. And he was like, okay, is there anything about this home that you would change or that you don't like? And I said, no, I love everything about the home. Our master was on the main, right? So being in real estate, I know that the master on main is super important for a lot of people. And it's important to us because as we get older, we don't want to have to do the stairs. So the master's on the main and the kids are upstairs, which for me is phenomenal because now all their toys and everything can stay upstairs in their room. But I loved our layout. I love the space. We literally doubled the size of our home. We are on more acreage. And so I told him, I said, really the only thing that it's missing is a pool. And we can add that at any time. So sometimes we will get clients that say, oh, I want a pool. And I'm like, don't let that stop you. If you find the perfect home, buy the perfect home and put the pool in later, right? So we did. About 2 years into our journey, we put a pool in the backyard. Kids have loved it. They're enjoying it and everything is great. So I just want to say buying a home is an investment. And I can tell you in our market, more times than not, you're going to make money. So buy the house, stay in it, let it be your starter home, stay in it until you're ready for your dream home and financially it makes sense. And then go buy the dream home, right? And even if that dream home turns into not being your forever because things change, you can move and always have money in your pocket. Thank you for joining us on Wednesday with Whitt. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We'll see you next week.